Epic of Sundiata. Sundiata's popularity grew from day to day, and he was surrounded by a gang of children of the same age as himself. These were Fran Kamara, son of the King of Tabon, Kamajan, son of the king of Sibi, and other princes whose fathers had sent them to the court of Miani. The son of Namaji, Mandingbori, was already joining in their games. Balafasiki followed Dajata all the time. He was past 20, and it was he who gave the child education and instruction according to Mandingo rules of conduct. Whether in town or at the hunt, he missed no opportunity of instructing his pupil. Many young boys of Niani came to join in the games of the royal child. He liked hunting best of all. For Karo, master of the forges, had made Jata a fine bow, and he proved himself to be a good shot with the bow. He made frequent hunting trips with his troops, and in the evening all Nyani would be in the square to be present at the entry of the young hunters. The crowd would sing the hymn to the bow, which Balafasiki had composed, and Sagalan Dajata was quite young when he received the title of Simbon, or Master Hunter, which is only conferred on great hunters who have proved themselves. Every evening, Sagalan Kajau would gather Dajata and his companions outside her hut. She would tell them stories about the beasts of the bush, the dumb brothers of man. Sagalan Dajata learned to distinguish between the animals. He knew why the buffalo was his mother's wraith, and also why the lion was the protector of his father's family. He also listened to the history of the kings which Balafasiki told him, enraptured by the story of Alexander the Great, the mighty king of gold and silver, whose sun shone over quite half the world. Saglan initiated her son into certain secrets and revealed to him the names of the medicinal plants which every hunter should know. Thus, between his mother and his griot, the child got to know all that needed to be known. Sagalan's son was now 10. The name Sagalan Dajata in the rapid Mandingo language became Sundiata, or Sundiata. He was a lad full of strength. His arms had the strength of 10, and his biceps inspired fear in his companions. He had already that authoritative way of speaking, which belongs to those who are destined to command. His brother, Mandingbori, became his best friend, and whenever Dajata was seen, Mandingbori appeared too. They were like a man and his shadow. Fran Kamara and Kamajan were the closest friends of the young princes, while Balafasiki followed them all like a guardian angel. But Sanjata's popularity was so great that the queen mother became apprehensive for her son's throne. Dakaran Tuman was the most retiring of men. At the age of 18, he was still under the influence of his mother and a handful of old schemers. It was Satsuma Barete who really reigned in his name. The queen mother wanted to put an end to this popularity by killing Sundiata, and it was thus one night that she received 9 great witches of Mali. They were all old women. The eldest, and the most dangerous too, was called Sasamo Kankoba. When the 9 old hags had seated themselves in a semicircle around her bed, the queen mother said, "You who rule supreme at night, nocturnal powers, O you who hold the secret of life, you who can put an end to one life, can you help me?" "The night is potent," said Satsuma Kankaba. "O queen, tell us what is to be done. On whom must we turn the fatal blade?" "I want to kill Sundiata," said Satsuma. "His destiny runs counter to my son's, and he must be killed while there is still time. If you succeed, I promise you the finest rewards. First of all, I bestow on each of you a cow and her calf, and from tomorrow go to the royal granaries, and each of you will receive 100 measures of rice and 100 measures of hay on my authority." "Mother of the king," rejoined Satsuma Konkoba. Life hangs by nothing but a very fine thread, but all is interwoven here below. Life has a cause and death as well. The one comes from the other. Your hate has a cause, and your action must have a cause. Mother of the king, everything holds together. Our action will have no effect unless we are ourselves implicated. But Marijata has done us no wrong. It is then difficult for us to compass his death. But you are also concerned, replied the Queen Mother, for the son of Sagalan will be a scourge to us all. The snake seldom bites the foot that does not walk, said one of the witches. Yes, but there are snakes that attack everybody. Allow Sundiata to grow up, and we will all repent of it. Tomorrow, go to Sagalan's vegetable patch and make a show of picking a few Nalgao leaves. Marijata stands guard there, and you will see how vicious the boy is. He won't have any respect for your age. He'll give you a good thrashing. That's a clever idea, said one of the old hags. But the cause of our discomfiture will be ourselves for having touched something which did not belong to us. We could repeat the offense, said another, and then, if he beats us again, we would be able to reproach him with being unkind, heartless. In that case, we would be concerned, I think. The idea is ingenious, said Satsuma Kunkamba. Tomorrow, we shall go to Sagalan's vegetable patch. Now there's a happy thought, concluded the Queen Mother, laughing for joy. Go to the vegetable patch tomorrow, and you will see that Sagalan's son is mean. Beforehand, present yourselves at the royal granaries, where you will receive the grain I promised you. The cow and calves are already yours. The old hags bowed and disappeared into the black night. The Queen Mother was now alone and gloated over her anticipated victory. But her daughter, Nana Tribben, woke up. Mother, who were you talking to? I thought I heard voices. Sleep, my daughter. It is nothing. You didn't hear anything. In the morning, as usual, Sundiata got his companions together in front of his mother's hut and said, What animal are we going to hunt today? Kamanjan said, I wouldn't mind if we attacked some elephants right now. Yes, I am of this opinion too, said Fran Kamara. That will allow us to go far into the bush. And the young band left after Sagalan had filled the hunting bags with eatables. Sundiata and his companions came back late to the village, but first Sundiata wanted to take a look at his mother's vegetable patch, as was his custom. It was dusk. There he found the 9 witches stealing Nalgao leaves. They made a show of running away like thieves caught red-handed. Stop, stop, poor old woman, said Sundiata. What is the matter with you to run away like this? This garden belongs to all. Straightway his companions, and he filled the gourds of the old hags with leaves, aubergines, and onions. Each time that you run short of condiments, come to stock up here without fear. You disarm us, said one of the old crones, and another added, and you confound us with your bounty. Listen, Jata, said Satsuma Kunkava, we had come here to test you. We have no need of condiments, but your generosity disarms us. We were sent here by the Queen Mother to provoke you and draw the anger of the nocturnal powers upon you. But nothing can be done against a heart full of kindness. And to think that we have already drawn 100 measures of rice and 100 measures of millet, and the Queen promises us each a cow and her calf in addition. Forgive us, son of Sagalan. I bear you no ill will, said Jata. Here, I am returning from the hunt with my companions, and we have killed 10 elephants. So I will give you an elephant each, and there you have some meat. Thank you, son of Sagalan. Thank you, child of justice. Henceforth, concluded Sasama Kankaba, we will watch over you. And the 9 witches disappeared into the night. Sundiata and his companions continued on their way to Nyani and got back after dark. You were really frightened. Those 9 witches really scared you, eh? Said Sagalan Kalanakan, Dejata's younger sister. How do you know? Retorted Sundiata, astonished. I saw them at night hatching their scheme, but I knew there was no danger for you. Clonican was well versed in the art of witchcraft and watched over her brother without his suspecting it. Sagalon, knowing the danger that awaited her child in the court ruled by the jealous Sasuma, decided to leave until such a time that Dejata could return to the safety or in safety to reign over Mali. In a parting act of malice, Dinkaran Tuman sent Dejata's griot, Balafasigi, on an embassy to the king of Sasso, Samaro Kante, thereby depriving Dejata of his friend and teacher. There, Bala Fasiki remained along with Nana Turban until the eve of Saumaro's major battle with Sundiata. Vowing to return, Sagalon's son and his family began their 7 years of exile, during which Sundiata would grow to manhood. After brief stops in Jejeba and Tabone, they remained for a time at the court of Success at Ouagadougou. There, Sundiata learned much from the merchants and officials engaged in the trans-Saharan trade. After a time, the Sassisi king sent them on to the king of Mema, his cousin. The king of Mema's hospitality was generous, and Sundiata quickly became a favorite at the court. His first military campaigns were fought on behalf of the king of Mema, and so valorous were his exploits that he soon was named viceroy.